So you just finished creating an epic scene in Blender, but it looks like dirt. In this video, I will show you how to bring your dingy renders out of the mud and give them a squeaky clean shine. Add some spice, So open up Blender, navigate to the project that you want to render, open up your render settings and select cycles. Make sure GPU compute is selected. You can put the sample rate anywhere between like 5 and 50. Depending on how long you want the render to take and how good your PC is. I like to keep it pretty low for fast renders. Now you might be saying, but the automatic setting is so high. Wouldn't this lower setting look like trash? Not if denoise is selected. Make sure denoise is selected. It usually is by default, but do not turn it off.
Scroll all the way down to the bottom of your render settings. Under color management, select look, and here you can change the contrast of your render.
And that'll take your render from here to here, but we still need to get over here. It's come to my attention recently that 92% of you guys are not subscribed. So please, hit subscribe. Now that we've got all our render settings in place, it's time to go over to compositing. So navigate over to the compositing tab and select use nodes. Click Shift A, then click on the search bar and add a viewer node to your scene. Render your image and keep the render window open. Plug your render into your viewer so that you can look at it. Click Shift A and search for RGB curves and add it into your scene. You got 2 dots on this graph that it starts out with, and you can add dots to it or not. And you can just mess with them, slide them around, make the colors of your scene really pop and really get that color honed in to what you imagined it would be like in post. Add a glare node and mess with the settings. Use these settings for this, these settings for this, these settings for this, etc. Now our render looks like this, and finally, if we want to add this dreamlike distortion effect, add a lens distortion filter to the end of your node chain and turn the dispersion up to anywhere between 0.1 and 1. I'm editing the video right now and I realized I didn't quite explain this fully earlier. What's happening with these nodes? So your render layers, the layers of the render come from the layout tab, and they render this image and it brings it over here to compositing, and then it sends this signal of the image down this chain and all the way to here and then into the composite, and the composite is the final image that you get from your Blender render with all these effects applied. But if we unplug it from the composite, you can see the render just goes black, but it still shows up here because it's plugged into the viewer node, and we're being able to see them through the viewer node displayed on the background of the compositing tab right here, but they're not going to our image. So you see when we plug this end of our node chain back into the composite, it has this little render progress down here, and that's it applying the effects to the actual render, which we can then go save as an image. And now that I've shown you the mysterious world of compositing, hopefully that's opened up your eyes to the myriad of possibilities there, where you can take all of your renders to the next level easily in post. Please click that subscribe button if you like this video and enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys next week with my next video. Bye.